Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. I'm your host, Jessica Williams. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's Monday, so you already know it's time we kick it off with some motivation. Here's the quote. The journey of 1,000 miles begin with one single step. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when you look at how far you want to go, whether it's a big dream, a major life change, or a goal that feels out of reach. But progress doesn't come all at once. It begins with one decision, one action, one moment of courage. You don't have to have the whole map figured out. You just have to start. The first step, no matter how small, is what separates wishing from doing. So don't wait for the perfect time or the perfect plan. Start where you are. Use what you have and take that first step. The road ahead may be long, but every mile begins right here. And once you're moving, the momentum builds. So keep going. Your journey is already underway. Now on to the show. First up, I am taking you inside of Loft 102, a brand new wedding and event venue located in the Northeast. The space is absolutely beautiful, and I take you inside on a tour. Then it's Money Monday with Foster Financial, and today we will be discussing possible tax cuts. Plus, more happening later in the show. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
This segment sponsored by Loft 102. I am at Loft 102, which is the newest wedding and event space here in Fort Wayne. As you can see, I am in their main area and it is so beautiful and magical. I'm going to speak with their management about how you can have your weddings, events, corporate events here, and so much more. And I'm going to take a tour and you're invited. Let's do it. I am now joined by Raylene, the CEO, and Hannah, the sales director. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Well, I'm so thrilled to be here because this space is absolutely beautiful. I mean, you're introducing something that's new and different to Fort Wayne for people who want a different vibe with their events, right?
Right, absolutely.
So let's start off by just kind of giving me an overview of Loft 102.
So Loft 102 is one of the newest wedding and event centers here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And we're super excited because we feel like we're unique. We bring a modern vibe and luxury feel. We offer different areas, the bridal suite, the groom suite, and we're offering a lot of flexibility to our grooms and brides.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you talk about weddings, but I look at this venue, I'm like, it's so chic. It's so like swanky. I feel like so many different types of events can be held here, right?
Absolutely.
So Hannah, kind of describe ways people can utilize this space.
Yeah, so we can do a number of different things here. We can do weddings, corporate events, holiday parties, birthday parties, small concerts, get-togethers, all across the board. We can do a lot of different things here.
Yes, and I saw that space, I said, ooh, a fashion show would be perfect.
Yes.
I love the angles and the levels. Okay, so you have multiple rooms and multiple levels. So Raylene, kind of describe the space usage when it comes to the different areas people can experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So this would be the main area. So just for like a reception purpose, you have your food, your bar, your dance floor, and then upstairs is kind of like overflow and an additional bar upstairs. And then we have two private suites where people could, kind of separate and have their privacy. And then we've got lounging areas at the back of the venue here. And so just lots of unique things they could do with the space and utilize. Just the overlook is just amazing. Like I don't know, I just get so excited and so giddy.
Right.
Like,
It is, because you all got to really build this from the ground up and create your ideas. And then you are a mother-daughter duo team, which is great. So how is it working with your mom? And tell me about just the uniqueness you both bring to this project. project?
Yeah, honestly, I can't say enough good things about working with my mom. She's honestly one of my best friends. And then something unique that we bring, I was just a bride myself. I got married in December, so we've been through it, we get it, you know, from a bride standpoint and then from the mother of a bride standpoint, which I think is really cool that we offer that because again, we get it all the way from the stress, all the way to the emotions, just everything.
Yeah, and the little details that matter.
Yes.
Because I know you all put a lot of thought into every little thing, from the decor, from the sparkles to the color themes.
Yes.
I would love to walk around, take a tour, and look at the facility.
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right, let's do it. Okay, so I love this seating area, so nice and modern. And then we're walking into this beautiful bridal suite.
Yes.
So let's talk about just how you decided to set this room up and make it just so modern and beautiful.
So for us, the entire room was designed around this mirror. Hannah and I were shopping, we saw the mirror and we're like, that's it. And then we just, when you think of brides, we thought of pink and we wanted elegant and soft. And so again, everything was inspired around this mirror.
I love it. It's so plush and luxurious, and I love the gold accents and all, ooh. And then we walk into this here, which is so creative to add the makeup counters.
Right.
You know, so the whole bridal party can get ready together.
Yes, so that was something we actually learned from Hannah's wedding, as we could only get ready one at a time, and then we were kind of fighting over the bathroom space. And so we thought, you know what, we really wanted to make this a usable space that multiple people could be doing things, because we all know how us girls are with our makeup and our hair.
And then this bathroom here, so you actually have a full bathroom.
We do.
With a shower and everything that's so needed. And then this area here, inspired by just that final look in the wedding dress.
Yep, being able to see every angle of that beautiful dress and just kind of take in that special day or whatever event, you know.
Yeah.
So we all like to do a little look-see before
And then it seems like you thought of everything. I saw a mini fridge, I saw a coffee set. And so let's keep walking this way, because it's like a fun little maze here. So we're entering back into the main space, but then we have stairs.
Yes.
And you also have an elevator.
We do. And then for safety, we added an additional layer to these stairs. I don't know if you noticed, they light up. They are motion activated.
Oh, no, I didn't notice. Okay, so tell me about this area.
So this is, we have two areas for photo booth opportunity. Hannah, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, so obviously, like she said, 2 photo booths for opportunity. And everybody that books with us also gets a complimentary LED sign. It can say what they want on it, and it gets hung up on that green wall. Guests love these walls. And I honestly just can't say enough good things about the green wall and the light up wall.
Yeah, there's a vibe to it for sure. And I love that you give 2 options for it, you know? And so let's now walk up. So you have bathrooms over here to the left-hand side. And now we're up on the top level, and more seating opportunities are just creating a whole new space, right?
Yeah, we do. So we have more areas for tables. We have a second bar up here. We do have furniture ordered. We're going to have another seating area back here. And we've got some fun and games. We have a foosball table, an air hockey table.
Nice.
So we just wanted to have a fun, flexible vibe.
Yeah, and I love like the decor, and I know that the lights do something special. So explain to me how the lights kind of work.
Yeah, so honestly, I think the lights just create such an ambiance in here, and something that, like, if you want that more elegance, that more romantic feel, the lights definitely tie it all in. I think my favorite part is the drapes and just the chandeliers and just how elegant it looks, and just it brings something to the building.
It
for
does,
sure.
it really does. I mean, it's like a little dream world. And then you have an additional bar, and then you have your DJ area down there, which is a beautiful view of the venue. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's keep walking this way. Okay, so now we're entering into the man cave.
The man cave.
Yes, and so tell me about this space and how it's utilized.
Yeah, so we envisioned the guys using this room. We wanted a table where they could sit around, play some cards, and have some fun. And then we just ordered 2 gaming consoles for the TV. So we just wanted this to be a fun, relaxing vibe for the guys, or, you know, whoever used the space.
Yeah,
So,
which is, it has a manly feel. You got these beautiful plush recliners. You have this balcony, you kind of see what's going on out there, and just separation before the great unity, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's beautiful.
All right, so more to explore. So let's go back down. And so let's kind of talk about what is included in the packages. So I know that people can rent, they can request the pricing from you from your website, but you also have items, chairs, tables that you provide.
We do. So with our rental price includes the tables, the chairs, linens, and you do get the rental from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. And then we actually give you an additional hour to kind of get your stuff.
Yeah.
So the doors don't shut hard at 11, but you get an extra hour just to get your stuff out, take your time, you know, kind of reminisce on the day.
Yeah.
And then just this beautiful space with 2 bars. So yeah, just lots of opportunities.
There is, and I love that. And people do, they're able to get vendors from you or bring in their own vendor options, right?
Yeah, so for catering, they can bring in whoever they would like for catering. You also have the option to bring in your own food if you would like to do that. And then we also don't take a vendor fee, which is really, really nice.
Wow, that is really nice. Wow, that is something definitely that people should take advantage of. Okay, so you all opened up at the end of last year. You're getting bookings in for this year and beyond.
We are.
Yes,
we are.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for giving me a tour and really just sharing your vision.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
We enjoyed it. We just want everybody to feel the magic.
Right.
I keep saying that.
Yes, it is very magical. Thank you both.
Thank you.
If you would like more information about Loft 102, we'll have their website listed below. Check out everything they have to offer. Come out, get a tour, and start booking. And I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Loft 102. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial. Welcome to Money Monday with Foster Financial, where we discuss things that's happening around the world that can impact your finances. And today I'm joined by their Vice President, Caleb Doan. Hello, Caleb.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thanks very much.
Okay, so we've been talking a lot about what's happening right now in Washington, what's happening and how it impacts us financially.
Yeah.
And so today we're going to discuss possible tax cuts because that has been out in the flow of conversation.
Yeah.
So what should we know?
Yeah, so I mean, in 2017, people probably remember the tax cuts that happened there. So it shifted a lot of the tax brackets down. So if you were in the 15% tax bracket, you dropped down to the 12%. If you were in the 25% tax bracket, you dropped down to the 22%, which is always nice. You know, it's good to pay less in taxes, of course. We all like that. It increased the standard deduction too, so you got to write off a little bit more on your taxes. Well, that legislation, as it was written, was set to sunset at the end of 2025.
Sunset? What is that? Just slightly go down?
Right, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Just, disappear across the horizon there. So basically, if new legislation isn't passed, then those tax cuts go away and everyone's tax brackets snap back up to what they were at before that legislation.
Interesting. Okay, so with these cuts, talk about what these cuts are possibly proposing.
Yeah, the idea is, okay, let's make those 2017 tax cuts permanent. So as opposed to having them, leave at the end of 2025, let's make them permanent, forever, so that if you're in the 12%, you just stay in the 12% until in the future when they decide to, raise taxes eventually, right?
Okay, but I think it's kind of interesting how they're saying like, oh, a tax cut. Well, the cut's already there, so this would just be a consistency, right? Just an extension, unless they let it fall or go back to be able to say we cut taxes again. Okay, I see what's happening.
It's kind of like, where's your starting point? Is it, before the tax cuts? So, and there are a few additional tax cuts in the bill as it stands right now. So it's only passed through the House. It still has to go through the Senate. And there are a couple extra things that they're adding on top of it, or at least attempting to add. And that's where we get, the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. There's a couple extra deductions that they add in there for state and local taxes. They raise the caps. So overall, it still would end up being, a tax cut to folks, even with the tax cuts that were just extended from
that were already
2017.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, so how is this a good thing for investors?
Yeah, so I mean, Anytime we're projecting out somebody's financial plan, we're taking a look at how much they're going to pay in taxes. And so, of course, with the previous legislation, we were anticipating that tax brackets would snap back up, in starting in 2026. And so now we can project that they'll pay lower taxes over the course of their retirement, assuming that the bill gets passed.
Right.
So that can certainly help people's cash flow, which can be a very good thing. We generally, like tax cuts. If we get to pay less, that's a good thing. I'd say, people who maybe don't support the bill are saying that, maybe this adds too much to the deficit over the next 10 years. Maybe it doesn't do enough to, pair the reduction in taxes with a reduction in government spending. It certainly does some of that, but, some people would want more than that too.
Right. And it's like the tax cuts really does help the middle class. It really does help majority of people in the world. It's always so interesting when people have a hard time digesting that. And then there's of course, the most wealthiest folks in the world that don't pay nearly as many taxes as we do. So that's always just an interesting debate, I feel.
Right, yeah. Yeah, certainly. And I mean, the folks that we deal with typically are just, your everyday retiree, typically in Fort Wayne here. So, a lot of times we focus on how this is actually going to impact them. And certainly if you're, we're in the 15% tax bracket and you drop down to the 12% tax bracket, that's a big difference for you. And so, we like to focus on how it's going to actually impact everyday Americans and how we can project out their financial plan and see how it's going to benefit them long term.
Okay, so let's talk about something else that's in the hemisphere. So something that was possibly proposed by our president is the fact that through these tariffs, there's a possibility that it could eliminate income taxes altogether. That has been put out there. What do you feel is the likelihood of that, and how would that really impact someone's finances?
Yeah,
should we be rooting for that?
I would say that that's probably more on the unlikely side of the spectrum there. Back in the day, that could have been something that was a possibility 100 years ago. Now the government has just grown exponentially over the last 100 years, and so the idea that tariffs could kind of pay for a lot of the entitlement programs and things like that we have, it's just not likely. And it seems like whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, or even all the constituents don't really seem interested in changing a lot of the entitlement programs that we have now, and those make up just a huge portion of the overall government budget. So I'd say that proposal is pretty unlikely to happen. As far as extending the 2017 tax cuts, I think that's a lot higher likelihood.
Right.
The Senate still has some issues with the bill, so we'll see how it changes before they ultimately vote on it.
Yeah.
But I'd put it in the more likely category that goes through.
Got it. Okay. And by entitlement programs, you mean like the Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, the things that the government has, funded through people contributing.
Right. Right.
It's always so funny. Entitlement. It's like, yes, you are entitled to it, but you also contribute it to it.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, well, cool. Well, I look forward to seeing how this bill kind of rolls out, and hopefully we can keep our cuts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thanks for breaking it down, Caleb.
Thank you.
And if you would like more information about Foster Financial, they are here to help you with your financial planning. So you can just give them a call for a complimentary consultation, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group.
For many of us, the colder months have had us hibernating indoors, so now you may be noticing it is time to tidy up that house that you've been looking at. Joining us now with the top cleaning products is Senior Director of Content Operations from BestReviews.com, Jacob Palmer. Hey Jacob, how are you?
Thanks for having me. These are very affordable and are going to be great whenever. And if you already got a good vacuum, you don't need to think about what the great ones are. Check out our YouTube if you are interested in the best vacuums. We do test those. But for the everyday things where maybe you're swapping them out every 90 days anyway, this is going to be a great place to start.
All right, and a great vacuum makes all the difference, doesn't it, Jacob? That's amazing. All right, let's start with the scrubbers. I've seen these before. They have the cutest little happy faces on them. What is this?
So starting with the scrub daddies and the scrub mommies here, which is what these sponges are. Professional cleaners and people that are really experts in the space, they will say these are the ones that you need to check out, because Sure, it's not that expensive, but these are going to pack the biggest punch. You can see there that it's got 2 sides on it. Just think about your counters, right? A lot of them, they're tiled, and so you want to have one side for the grout, one side for the tile, and it's like a beautiful synchronization that way.
So true. Okay, Jacob, what do we have next?
So next is the absolute workhorse, despite its small stature. And I said, we weren't going to be talking about big, expensive vacuums, so how about a smaller, affordable vacuum? And that's what we have here. This is one of our favorites because they do big sales on them. Keep this thing behind the couch, plug it in, you can use it super fast, and it's really packs a punch for how small it is.
Love it, and it's easy to hide once you're done with it. It's easy to pack away, and it's not too bulky or anything. Amazing. Okay, the pink stuff. This is like one of those viral, crazy popular cleaning tools. Tell us what it is about this that's so good.
So this is another one that we're going to bring from TikTok. The mainstay here, the one that people are going to be really excited about, is the Miracle Cleaning Paste that's right there because of how dynamic it is. You got the bathroom cleaner here, which is the foam, which will make basically any surface go back to the pristine white that you want it to. You've also got the multi-purpose cleaner behind it here, which is perfect for the kitchen. And then you also have this last one that's going to be great in terms of the deep foam. It's really nice in terms of getting into like different areas. So another great one that's like, you might as well stock up on it because a lot of times they are running good discounts there. And this is a product that wouldn't exist if it wasn't so popular on social media. And you're not spending that much money doing that.
Yeah, perfect. All right, I see we've got the big ticket item we've left for last. Tell us what this is. It looks like a mop.
What this is a steam mop, and it's from Shark. And what's great about these is they've really gained in popularity in the last couple of years because people are realizing that they're not getting as much out of their mops as they would like to around the house. And this basically unlocks it with the power of steam. And the best part of all of it, this isn't that expensive either. You're gonna be finding it for less than $70 even when it's not on sale.
Very cool. Jacob, thank you so much. Love these products, and they are tried and true. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. For more on these products and lots of others, head to bestreviews.com or scan the QR code on your screen right now.
Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. You can find more on the products and where to buy them on WANE.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. And remember, you can always catch up on episodes and segments of Living Local 15 by going to WANE.com, downloading the WANE app, and also checking us out on YouTube. And I'll leave you with this. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one single step. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.